Hey, friends. Get ready for an awesome story that's going to grab you and not let go. Imagine a tiny, dusty town, a place so small that everyone knows everyone else. The houses are old, the streets are quiet, and the sun shines bright all day long. It's the kind of town where nothing big ever happens, or so people think. But then, there's this new girl named Lily Carter. She's 16 years old, but she's small, like, really small for her age. Her brown hair is all messy, like she doesn't care about brushing it, and her clothes? They're old and faded, like she's been wearing them forever. Every morning, she walks to school with her head down, holding tight to a beat-up backpack that's covered in dirt and scratches. Most people in town don't even notice her. She's just there, blending into the background like a shadow. But here's the thing, Lily's got a secret. A big one. And nobody in this sleepy little town has any idea what's hiding inside that quiet girl. Before we jump into this wild tale, I've got something fun for you. Drop a quick comment down below and tell me, where are you watching from today? Are you at home, at school, or maybe somewhere cool? Oh, and if you love stories where the little guy wins big, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Okay, here's a question to think about while we go. What would you do if a bunch of loud, mean bikers started picking on you? Would you run? Would you yell? Would you just stand there? Hang on tight, because Lily's about to show us something so cool, you won't believe it. It all started on a sunny afternoon. The sky was blue, the birds were chirping, and everything seemed normal. Kids were laughing outside the school, kicking a ball around, when vroom vroom, trouble came roaring into town. A gang of bikers rolled up on their big, noisy motorcycles. Their engines growled so loud, it made the ground shake a little. They wore shiny black leather jackets, and their boots were heavy, stomping on the dirt like they owned the place. These guys called themselves the Road Wolves. Cool name, right? But they weren't cool people. Nope. They loved picking on anyone who looked small or weak. It was like a game to them: find someone quiet, scare them, and laugh about it later. And guess who they saw that day? Little Lily Carter, walking home all by herself. Lily didn't look like much. She was tiny, with that messy hair flopping in her face, and her backpack looked like it might fall apart any second. To the Road Wolves, she was perfect, like a mouse they could chase for fun. The leader of the gang, a big guy named Rex, spotted her first. He had a scruffy beard that looked like it hadn't been washed in weeks, and his grin was mean, like the kind of smile a bully gives you right before he takes your lunch. Well, Rex said, his voice loud over the rumble of his bike. What's this? A little kid all alone? He laughed, and the other bikers laughed too, their voices rough and nasty. They pulled their bikes closer, making a circle around Lily so she couldn't just walk away. Most people would have been scared. I mean, think about it: big, loud guys on motorcycles, all staring at you like you're their next toy. That's spooky stuff. But Lily? She didn't cry. She didn't run. She just stood there, her head still down, her hands tight on that old backpack. The bikers didn't know it yet, but they just picked the wrong girl to mess with. See, Lily wasn't like other kids. She wasn't just some quiet nobody who'd let them push her around. There was something special about her, something amazing. And it was hiding right there, in that beat-up backpack she carried every day. Let's paint the picture a little more, okay? This town was super boring most of the time. The school was just a small building with chipped paint and creaky doors. The streets were dirt and gravel, and the only sounds you usually heard were dogs barking or the wind blowing through the trees. People here didn't expect much. They went to work, came home, and that was it. So when the Road Wolves showed up, it was a big deal. Kids peeked out from behind the school fence, watching the bikers with wide eyes. Some of them whispered to each other, "Who are those guys?" Others just stared, too scared to move. And there was Lily, right in the middle of it all, looking like she didn't belong in this noisy mess. Rex revved his engine again, vroom, and it was so loud, it made Lily's hair flutter a little. "Hey, kid," he shouted. "You lost or something? Where's your mommy?" The other bikers howled with laughter, slapping their knees like it was the funniest thing ever. One of them, a skinny guy with a greasy ponytail, tossed an empty soda can toward her. It bounced off the ground near her feet, and Lily jumped just a tiny bit. That made them laugh even harder. "Look at her," Rex said. "She's scared already. This is gonna be fun." But here's where it gets interesting. Lily didn't say anything back. She didn't yell or cry or even look mad. She just stood there, quiet as ever. Her hands squeezed that backpack a little tighter, and her eyes flicked up for just a second, long enough to see where each biker was standing. It was fast, so fast nobody noticed. But if you'd been watching close, you might have wondered, why isn't she running? Why isn't she scared? That's because Lily had a trick up her sleeve. A big one. And those road wolves? They were about to find out they'd picked on the wrong quiet girl. The sun was starting to dip lower in the sky, turning everything a little orange. The air smelled like dust and gasoline from the bikes. The town felt different now, like something big was about to happen, even if nobody knew it yet. Lily took a slow breath, her shoulders moving just a tiny bit. She wasn't shaking. She wasn't sweating. She was calm, way too calm for a kid surrounded by mean bikers. And that's when you start to think, wait a minute. There's more to this girl than we know. So what was her secret? How could a small, quiet 16-year-old stand there like she wasn't afraid of anything? The road wolves thought they had her all figured out. They thought she was weak, easy to scare, just another kid they could tease and forget about. But oh boy, were they wrong. Lily Carter wasn't just some random girl. She was special, so special that what happened next would leave everyone's jaws on the floor. Want to know what it is? Stick around, because this story's just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Okay, friends, let's dive into the next part of Lily's story. Things are about to get messy and super exciting. Picture this, it's late afternoon in that dusty little town. The sun's still up, but it's starting to turn the sky a soft orange. Lily Carter, our quiet 16-year-old with the messy brown hair and old clothes, is walking home from school. She's got her beat-up backpack slung over one shoulder, and her head's down like always. She's just minding her own business, kicking little rocks along the dirt path. But then vroom vroom, trouble shows up, loud and fast. The road wolves, that gang of tough bikers, are back. Their motorcycles rumble like angry monsters, and the sound bounces off the houses nearby. Leading the pack is a big guy named Rex. He's huge like a bear standing on two legs. His beard is scruffy and wild, like he hasn't brushed it in forever, and his grin? It's nasty, the kind that makes you feel cold inside. Rex spots Lily walking all by herself, and his eyes light up like he's found a new toy. "Hey, kid," he yells, his voice booming over the roar of his bike. He twists the handle, and the engine revs so loud, vroom, that Lily jumps a little, her sneakers scuffing the dirt. "What's a little mouse like you doing out here all by herself?" he says, laughing meanly. The other bikers laugh too. There's about 5 of them, all in black leather jackets, with messy hair and loud voices. They kick their bikes into gear and start circling Lily, moving slow like sharks swimming around a tiny fish. Their tires crunch the gravel, and dust flies up in little clouds. Lily doesn't say anything. Not a single word. She just stands there, her eyes stuck on the ground, her hands gripping her backpack so tight her knuckles turn white. To anyone watching, she looks small and scared, like she's about to run away crying. But here's the secret, she's not scared. Not even a tiny bit. She's watching. Every move they make, every mean word they throw, she's keeping it all in her head, like a list she's saving for later. Rex leans closer, still on his bike. His big shadow falls over Lily, making her look even smaller. "Ah, what's wrong?" he says, his voice all fake and whiny. "Too scared to talk? Poor little mouse. Maybe we should give you something to cry about." He laughs again, and the other bikers join in, their voices loud and rough like a pack of barking dogs. One of them, a guy with a big belly and a greasy red bandana, grabs an empty soda can from his jacket pocket. He shakes it, grinning, then tosses it right at Lily. It spins through the air and lands near her feet with a clink, splashing a little leftover soda on her shoe. She flinches just a tiny jump, but that's enough for them. "Ha! Look at her," another biker yells, pointing. "She's shaking already." They keep going. Another guy throws a crumpled up chip bag, and it bounces off her backpack. A third biker tosses a stick, and it skids across the dirt in front of her. They're jeering now, yelling and laughing like it's the best game ever. "Run, "Little mouse," one shouts. "Go hide," says another. To them, Lily's just a nobody. A quiet girl who won't fight back. They think she's weak, someone they can tease and push around without any trouble. They don't care that she's just trying to get home. They don't care that she's alone. To the road wolves, she's nothing, just a kid they can mess with for fun. But let's slow down and look closer, because something's different about Lily. Sure, she's quiet. Sure, she's small. But she's not crying. She's not running. She's just standing there, taking it all in. Her hands are tied on that backpack, like it's the most important thing in the world. And her eyes? They're still on the ground, but every now and then, they flick up just for a second to peek at the bikers. She sees where Rex is sitting on his bike, smirking like he's king of the world. She sees the guy with the bandana, laughing so hard he's almost falling off his seat. She sees the skinny one in the back, twirling another can in his hand like he's waiting to throw it. She's not missing a thing. The air feels heavy now. The sun's sinking lower, and the shadows are getting long. The bikers keep circling, their engines growling, their voices loud and mean. Kids from school are starting to peek out from behind fences and trees, watching with big eyes. Some whisper to each other, "What's gonna happen?" Others just stare, too nervous to move. Everyone thinks Lily's in trouble. Everyone thinks she's scared. But here's the truth, she's not. Not even close. Inside her head, she's calm like a lake with no ripples. Every soda can they throw, every nasty word they yell, she's tucking it away. It's like she's building something, a plan, maybe, or just a memory she's not ready to forget. Rex revs his bike again, vroom vroom, and leans even closer. "Come on, kid," he says, his voice all sharp and mean. "Say something. Or are you too chicken?" He sticks out his tongue and makes a goofy face, and the other bikers crack up. They think they've won already. They think Lily's just going to stand there and take it, like she's too weak to do anything else. But they don't know her. They don't know what's hiding inside that quiet little girl with the messy hair and the old backpack. They don't know that every time they laugh, they're making a mistake, a big one. Let's think about this for a second. Imagine you're Lily. You're walking home, minding your own business, when these loud, mean guys roll up and start picking on you. They're bigger than you. They're louder than you. They've got bikes and tough jackets, and you've just got, what? A backpack and some old sneakers? Most people would freak out. Most people would run or yell or maybe even cry. But not Lily. She's different. She's standing there like she's made of stone, watching them like a hawk watches a mouse. And that's the funny part, they think she's the mouse, but maybe they've got it all backward. The bikers keep going, tossing more junk her way. A bottle cap. A gum wrapper. Another soda can that rolls right past her feet. They're having a great time, laughing and shouting, thinking they're so cool. The dust is thick in the air now, kicked up by their tires, and it sticks to Lily's shoes. But she doesn't move. She doesn't blink. She just stands there, quiet as ever, letting them do their thing. And every time they yell, every time they throw something, you can almost feel it, she's not breaking. She's waiting. For what? We don't know yet. But it's something big. Something that's going to turn this whole mess upside down. So here we are, friends. The road wolves think they've got Lily trapped. They think she's just a scared little kid who won't fight back. But they're wrong. She's not scared. She's not weak. She's watching, waiting, and holding tight to that backpack like it's a treasure chest. What's inside? What's she planning? Stick around, because this story's about to get wild, and you won't believe what happens next. Alright, friends, let's keep this story rolling. Things are heating up now, and you're not gonna want to miss a single second. So, days went by after that first time the road wolves messed with Lily. They didn't stop, not even close. Every afternoon, when school let out, there they were, waiting for her. The bell would ring, kids would spill out onto the dusty playground, and then vroom vroom, the bikers would show up. Their big, loud motorcycles growled like angry dogs, and their tires kicked up clouds of dirt as they rolled closer. They'd park right near the path Lily took to walk home, just waiting for her to come by. Lily would step out of the school, her messy brown hair flopping in the wind, her beat-up backpack hanging off one shoulder. She'd start walking, head down like always, and that's when the road wolves would pounce. "Hey, little mouse," they'd yell, their voices loud and mean. Rex, the big leader with the scruffy beard, would rev his engine vroom, so loud it made the little kids cover their ears. "Run home, little mouse," he'd shout, grinning that nasty grin of his. The other bikers would laugh and join in, throwing stuff at her: soda cans, candy wrappers, even little rocks sometimes. "Go on, scamper away," one would say. "What's wrong, too scared to cry?" another would yell. They'd circle her on their bikes, making it hard for her to keep walking, like cats playing with a toy. And it wasn't just the bikers anymore. Kids at school started noticing. At first, they'd just watch from the playground, whispering to each other behind their hands. "Look, it's that quiet girl again," they'd say. "Those bikers are picking on her." But after a while, some of them stopped feeling bad and started joining in. A few boys from Lily's class, tough kids who liked to act big, would snicker when she walked by. "Mouse girl's in trouble again," they'd say, loud enough for her to hear. One kid even threw a crumpled up piece of paper at her during lunch, laughing when it bounced off her backpack. They all thought Lily was weak, too shy to do anything, too small to fight back. To them, she was just an easy target, a kid who'd never stand up for herself. But here's where things get really interesting. Something weird started happening, something the bikers and the kids didn't expect. Every time the road wolves got close, Lily's hands would move a little. Not a lot, just a tiny twitch, like she was itchy or nervous. Her fingers would wiggle on the straps of her backpack, like she wanted to grab something but wasn't ready yet. Most people didn't notice. The bikers were too busy laughing, and the school kids were too busy whispering. But if you looked close, real close, you'd see it. That twitch. That little shake. It was like a secret signal, a hint that Lily wasn't just standing there doing nothing. Then, one day, something wild happened. It was a hot afternoon, the kind where the sun makes everything feel sticky. The road wolves were at it again, waiting for Lily after school. She came walking out, same as always, head down, backpack tight in her hands. Rex spotted her and grinned. "Time for some fun," he said, grabbing an empty soda can from his bike. He shook it, then chucked it right at her, hard and fast. That can flew through the air, spinning like a little silver bullet, heading straight for Lily's head. Everyone thought it hit her, maybe make her duck or yelp. But guess what? It didn't. Lily's hand shot up, whoosh, and she caught it. Right out of the air. Without even blinking. Her fingers closed around that can so fast, it was like magic. The bikers went quiet for a second, surprised. Lily held the can, her eyes still on the ground, then dropped it in the dirt like it was nothing. She didn't say a word, just kept walking. But that move? It was fast. Too fast for a regular kid. One of the bikers, a skinny guy named Jake with a long ponytail, saw it all. He frowned, his eyebrows scrunching up like he didn't get it. "Hey, Rex," he said, his voice a little shaky. "You see that? She's freaky quick." He pointed at Lily, who was already a few steps away. Rex turned his head, still grinning, but now he looked a little confused. "What, you scared of a kid?" he said, laughing loud to cover it up. "She's nothing. Just got lucky, that's all." The other bikers laughed too, slapping Jake on the back like it was a big joke. But Lily? She heard them. And for just a tiny moment, just a split second, she smirked. It was a little smile, so small you'd miss it if you weren't paying attention. Her lips curled up, her eyes flicked to the side, and then it was gone. She turned away, walking off like nothing happened. That smirk, though, it was a clue. A sneaky little hint that something big was coming. She wasn't breaking down. She wasn't falling apart. She was building to something, like a storm getting ready to hit. Let's think about this for a minute. The road wolves kept picking on her day after day, throwing junk, calling her names. The kids at school were joining in, acting like she was a big nobody. Anyone else might have cried by now. Anyone else might have run home and hid. But not Lily. She kept going, kept walking, kept taking it all. And now, with that twitch in her hands and that crazy fast catch, you start to wonder, what's her deal? She's not acting scared. She's not acting weak. She's acting different. Like she's got something up her sleeve, something nobody knows about yet. The days kept passing, and the bikers didn't let up. One afternoon, they threw a stick that skidded right in front of her feet. Another day, they revved their engine so loud it made her hair fly around her face. "Run, Mouse, run," they'd yell, laughing like it was the funniest thing ever. The school kids kept whispering too, pointing and giggling behind her back. "She's so weird," they'd say. "Why doesn't she do something?" But Lily didn't care what they thought. She didn't yell back. She didn't run. She just kept her head down, her hands on that backpack, and her eyes watching everything. That twitch in her hands. It kept happening. Every time the bikers got close, every time they threw something or shouted, her fingers would wiggle just a little. It was like she was itching to grab something, like her hands knew something her mouth wasn't saying. And that catch with the soda can? It wasn't a fluke. The next day, when a kid at school tossed a wadded up napkin her way, she snatched it out of the air just as fast. Nobody said anything that time, they just stared. Lily dropped it and walked off, but you could feel it, she wasn't the weak little mouse they thought she was. So what was she hiding? Why wasn't she scared? The road wolves thought they had her all figured out. The kids at school thought she was a pushover. But that smirk, that tiny, secret smile told a different story. Lily wasn't breaking. She was waiting. She was getting ready. For what? We're about to find out, friends, and trust me, it's gonna be huge. Stick around, because this quiet girl's got a surprise that'll blow everyone away. Okay, friends, hold on tight, this is the part you've been waiting for. Everything's about to change in Lily's story, and it's gonna be so cool you'll want to cheer out loud. So, picture this, it's a Friday afternoon, and the week's been rough for Lily. The road wolves, that gang of mean bikers, have been picking on her every single day, revving their engines, throwing junk, calling her little mouse. But this Friday, they're feeling extra tough, extra bold, like they want to really scare her this time. The sun's still up, shining bright over the dusty little town, and Lily's walking home like she always does, her messy brown hair bouncing a little with each step. The bikers are waiting for her near an empty lot, a big, open space with nothing but dirt and some scraggly bushes. They roll their motorcycles right into her path, blocking her way so she can't keep going. The engines roar loud, vroom vroom, and the ground shakes a little under her feet. There's Rex, the big leader with the scruffy beard and that nasty grin, sitting on his bike like he's king of everything. He looks at Lily, his eyes all mean and shiny, and decides today's the day to push her harder than ever. He hops off his bike, landing with a heavy thud in the dirt. His boots crunch as he steps closer, cracking his knuckles like he's about to start a fight. "Time to teach you some respect, Mouse," he growls, his voice deep and rough. He towers over her, so big and loud that anyone would feel tiny next to him. The other bikers cheer him on. "Yeah, Rex," one yells. "Show her who's boss," another shouts. They rev their engines again, vroom, and laugh, circling closer on their bikes. Dust flies up around Lily, sticking to her old sneakers. To them, this is it, she's trapped, she's scared, she's finally gonna break. Kids from school are watching from far away, peeking out from behind trees and fences, their eyes wide. They think Lily's done for. Everyone does. But here's the thing, Lily's not scared. Not one bit. She stops walking, standing still as a rock in the middle of all that noise. Then, something amazing happens. Lily looks up just a little and sets her beat-up backpack down in the dirt. She moves slow, real slow, like she's got all the time in the world. The bikers see it and laugh even harder. "What's she doing?" one says, snickering. "Gonna hide in her bag," another jokes. Rex crosses his arms, smirking like he's already won. "Go on, Mouse," he says. "Run away." But Lily doesn't run. She doesn't cry. She just kneels down, her hands steady, and unzips that old backpack's zip, nice and calm. The laughing stops fast when she pulls something out. It's not books or homework or anything you'd expect. It's a sleek, shiny case, long and smooth, like something important. The bikers tilt their heads, confused. "What's that?" one mutters. Lily doesn't answer. She clicks the case open, snap, and there it is, shining in the sunlight, a rifle. Not a toy, not a fake, a real, polished, perfect rifle. It's so clean it almost sparkles, and there's something written on the side in fancy letters, Lily Carter, National Junior Shooting Champion. Everything goes quiet. Dead quiet. Rex's mouth drops open, and his big tough guy face freezes. What the, he starts to say, but he can't even finish. The other bikers blink, their jaws hanging like they've seen a ghost. The kids watching from far away gasp, their whispers turning into little squeaks. Lily stands up, holding that rifle like it's part of her. She doesn't rush, doesn't shake, she's cool as ice. Then, in one smooth move, she lifts it up and aims at a rusty old sign way off in the distance 50 yards away, stuck in the dirt like a forgotten target. Bang! The shot explodes like thunder, so loud it echoes across the empty lot. The bullet hits the sign dead center ping, and it spins like a top, a perfect hole punched right through it. Dust flies up where the bullet landed, and the sound bounces off the trees. A bullseye. A perfect shot. The bikers don't move. They don't laugh. They don't even breathe. Their eyes are huge, staring at Lily like she's turned into a superhero right in front of them. Lily lowers the rifle slow and easy, resting it on her shoulder, not pointing it at anyone, just holding it like it's no big deal. She looks at Rex, her face calm and quiet, and says, "Next time, I won't aim at a sign." Her voice is soft, but it cuts through the air like a knife. It's not loud, it's not angry, it's just, sure. Like she means it. Like she knows she could do it again, anytime she wants. Rex stumbles back a step, his boots tripping over the dirt. His big hands shake a little, and that nasty grin? It's gone. Wiped clean off his face. You're crazy, he stammers, his voice all wobbly now. The other bikers look at each other, their tough guy act falling apart. The skinny one, Jake, drops the soda can he was holding, and it rolls away in the dust. "She's a shooter," he whispers, like he can't believe it. "A real shooter." The guy with the red bandana just stares, his mouth open so wide you could fit a whole apple in it. Let's take a second to soak this in, friends. The road wolves thought Lily was nothing, just a quiet little kid they could tease and scare. They blocked her path, they laughed in her face, they called her mouse like she'd never fight back. But now they're standing there, frozen, because Lily's not who they thought she was. She's a champion, a national champion, and that rifle in her hands. It's proof she's tougher than all of them put together. That shot she made. Perfect. Fast. Scary good. And those words, "next time, I won't aim at a sign," they're like a promise. A warning. A big, loud boom in their heads. The air feels different now. The sun's still shining, but it's quieter, like the whole town's holding its breath. The kids watching from far away start whispering again, but now it's excited stuff. "Did you see that?" one says. "She's awesome," another squeaks. The bikers don't know what to do. Rex takes another step back, his big boots clumsy in the dirt. He's not laughing anymore. He's not yelling. He's just stuck, staring at this small girl with the big secret. Lily doesn't smile. She doesn't cheer. She just stands there, her rifle on her shoulder, her messy hair blowing a little in the wind. She doesn't need to say more, her shot said it all. The road wolves came to scare her, but now they're the ones scared. They thought they were big and tough, but Lily flipped it all upside down. She's not a mouse. She's a champion. And they're about to find out what happens when you mess with the wrong quiet girl. What's next? Oh, it's gonna be good, friends. Stick around, because this story's not over yet, and Lily's just getting started. Alright, friends, we're at the part where everything comes together, where the bad guys get what's coming to them and Lily shows everyone who she really is. So, let's jump back to that wild moment in the empty lot. Lily just fired her rifle, bang, and hit that rusty sign with a perfect shot. The road wolves, those big, loud bikers, are standing there with their mouths open, shocked. Rex, the leader with the scruffy beard, looks like someone just dumped ice water on his head. His tough guy face? It's gone. Melted away like snow in the sun. "You're crazy," he stammers, his voice all shaky and high. He trips over his own boots, stumbling back to his bike like he can't get away fast enough. The other bikers don't wait around either. They're scared, really scared. Their eyes are big, their hands are shaky, and they don't know what to do. "Let's go," one yells, kicking his motorcycle to life. Vroom vroom. The engines roar, louder than ever, and the road wolves peel out of there so fast you'd think they saw a ghost. Tires spin in the dirt, kicking up clouds of dust that swirl around the empty lot. They zoom down the road, their leather jackets flapping, and in just a few seconds, they're gone out of sight, out of town, like they were never there. All that's left is the echo of their bikes fading away and a little pile of junk they'd thrown at Lily earlier. Lily doesn't cheer or jump around. She doesn't even smile. She just stands there, calm and quiet, her rifle resting on her shoulder. The sun's going down now, painting the sky orange and pink, and the air feels still like the whole world's taking a big breath. She bends down, picks up her beat-up backpack, and zips that shiny rifle case shut click, like it's no big deal. Then she slings it over her shoulder, right next to her backpack, and starts walking home. Her sneakers crunch in the dirt, her messy brown hair bounces a little, and she looks like nothing happened. But everything's different now. Everything. Word spreads fast like wildfire racing through dry grass. By Monday morning, when Lily walks into school, everyone knows. The kids who'd been whispering about her, the ones who'd laughed and called her mouse girl, they're all talking now, but it's not mean stuff anymore. Did you hear? One kid says, his eyes wide. She's a shooter, a real champion. Another kid nods, holding his lunch tray. Yeah, she's won gold medals like, all over the country. The news is everywhere, buzzing through the halls, bouncing from the playground to the classrooms. Someone even heard a teacher say, Lily Carter? She's been in competition since she was 12. By lunchtime, the whole school knows, Lily's not just some quiet kid. She's a star, a winner, a girl who's tougher than anyone ever guessed. Reflective or inspiring closing. Hey, friends, let's think about something cool before we go. Sometimes, the quiet kids, the ones you think are easy to pick on, they've got something amazing hiding inside them. Lily showed us that. She didn't yell or punch or make a big fuss. She just stayed calm, waited for the perfect time, and then bam, she let her strength shine. It's pretty awesome, right? Makes you wonder, who around you might have a secret power they're keeping quiet. Maybe it's your friend, your neighbor, or even you. Alright, buddies, what did you like best about Lily's story? Tell me in the comments your favorite part. And if you want more fun stories like this, let me know. See you next time.